So clap those cheeks.
You are Tony Soprano.
Why?
Because he claps cheeks all the time.
I did notice that a bit.
Wasn't he cheating in the very first episode?
Yeah, he's cheated twice and it's
with that naked chick on the boat.
Yeah, she's pretty fine.
He was.
But no, he's done it with 2 girls, and I think I finished episode 3. So in 3 episodes.
Oh no, hold on, let me fix that. But that is so Tony.
Yeah, in 3 episodes, I will say quickly, I've won Matzo's tonight, which is a delicious ginger beer. And I got it from my client in Cannonville. We finished yesterday.
I was going to ask what that Matzo's was about.
Oh, yeah. So we finished yesterday, and it was a joke we always had. She's like, do you want a roadie? And I was like, I will. And she went to grab me a VB because they always
shit.
Yeah, they always get me a VB out. But they're like, I don't have any VB. And then they're like, oh, I got this. And I'm like, I bloody love this. Is not a cheap.
No,
like 6 of these is like $30. So I really appreciate it. I'm going to have it on the show. That wasn't as epic as I thought it would be.
That was twisty, so you could have used the Furfies.
Oh, the classic Furphy. I should have used the Cap. But
we've got so many openers on this show.
I know.
I've said it before, but I love the everything about like the set that we have, the backdrop, the little props, all the beers, all the beer openers. I think we've got a good like little.
Handy.
We could have like a whole wiki page.
You've got to remind me soon, maybe on the weekend. I want to take my engraved whiskey glass from Mitch.
Oh yeah.
And I want to put it on the.
Oh, that's great. That's a great idea. Yeah. It's just in the
that.
cupboard there.
That's what I mean. Like just kind of sitting there. So it was like, I could probably put it on the table.
So our first topic that we wanted to talk about was a movie that came out recently. Actually,
well, it comes out today.
Well, yeah. So as the Twitter headline that I have here says, Tenet becomes first major film to be released since the COVID-19 lockdown. So big news there, but yeah, basically. So we actually saw Tenet like a few days ago.
Well, it was an event.
Came out.
It was an event. It was an advanced screening. So they showed it on the Saturday and the Sunday, and it had like a 3-day break, and then it's been shown tonight.
Also, by the way, before we go ahead, shout out to Kath for making this lovely brownie that I just broke.
Yeah, I didn't know I was supposed to wait for the show, so I just literally.
Conor had one as well. He just completely scoffed it down.
Yeah, but you gotta have them while they're, it's losing heat as we speak.
It's true.
It was really nice and warm. And I was like, I'm gonna smash this brownie. I didn't. Here's the thing: at the cinema, because we went to Gold Class Tenet, I normally get the brownie, the Malteser brownie. But I said to the guy who works there, the manager, I was like, when I get the brownie at the end of the cinema, at the end of the movie, like an hour near the end or like half an hour at the end, I never finish it because I'm like so full.
Well, I got donut holes.
You didn't finish them either.
I didn't finish them, but I joked to the person when I got them. I was like,
so funny.
Is a donut hole nothing? Because if you buy the hole, then you're just buying nothing.
The hole is like yay big.
It was just really weird that
they look good. If I wasn't completely full, because I didn't get a brownie. I got a lemon tart.
A tart for a tart, as I said.
And that was really nice, but my food didn't arrive. I ordered a Mexican platter, but they didn't have the tacos. He was like, and they know, so like, just pick something off like the side menu and order that, and we'll add it on. So we'll have this like mac and cheese thing, and that arrived, but not the main platter.
Yeah.
And I assumed whilst watching the movie, and this is what happened, I assumed they must have put this instead of that. And they just assumed
mac and cheese instead of Mexican platter.
I think they just assumed that was, and that's what happened. So I got right here, I've got the taxpayer returned my dough. So $25 dues, which is going to buy me 2 pints tonight.
Way!
At the pub.
But yeah, so Tenet, the actual movie, that was our experience. And thankfully the experience was great. And also I know we've both spoke about that's what we've missed so much about the cinema.
Yeah.
Being on the big screen, and Gold Lounge especially, the seats being able to eat the food, everything you want to do.
Yeah, so this cinema just opened on the Saturday.
Just reopened.
So we were there on the second day.
And also, by the way, I totally was like, I'll treat myself. I got chicken wings, I got loaded fries, and I got the donut holes. I didn't finish any of them. Like I ate
That's what I mean.
A little, and you know what? I said to myself during the movie, I was like, I'm not going to be able to, if I finish one, I won't be able to start the other. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to have to do a little bit of each so I get to taste a bit, which is so wasteful. But I was like, fuck it, it's my treat day.
I looked at the wings and I was like, that looks good. But I'm like, I said out loud, I was like, that's going to be such a nightmare to eat in the cinema. And then I remember when it arrived in the cinema, you said to yourself, this is a nightmare. And I was like, bro, no shit.
Maybe I was talking about Tenet. But the donut holes, donut holes I spilt, by the way. And they were like donuts. They like fell on my chair and I was like, oh, no. Fuck. And I had to pick them up and I was like trying to wipe the sugar down the side of the seat. I was like, ooh.
Jesus Christ. How many donut holes were there? Because you had like 3 left over.
I think there were like 6. Or no, there was more than that. I don't know. There was like 8 or something. It's good value.
It seems like the food's meant to be shared because I rarely finish my food.
It probably is. I think it probably is. Yeah, we probably should have got either of what we got. I'd like to share.
Yeah, because the problem is it's just dark. It does sound like a nightmare because it kind of is in a way. But we sank beers as well.
We did sink beers. Yeah, I had 3, you had 4.
Yeah, we were horrendously hungover.
Oh my god, because that was the day we filmed the last show.
Yeah, it was the day we filmed the episode, and it was fucking.
And also, that's maybe good context because so we were hungover seeing this film, which is incredibly confusing. But what did you think, Conor, of the Tenet? What was your review, if you will?
Oh look,
or your thoughts?
Well, I think I'm seeing it.
We won't do spoilers because we know it's just come out.
No, yeah. I think I'm seeing it. Again
it's hard to spoil.
I don't know.
Could you spoil it even if you wanted to?
There's some things I could say, I guess, but I have the option to see it again on Sunday. I might do it. I don't know. I don't really feel like rewatching it. It's one of those movies where you're like, I would love to watch this again.
It's so long.
It is so long, and it really does feel long. It's 2.5 hours, and it doesn't sound that long, but it really is.
Nolan does this thing where he wants to he always has like 2 twists. You know, he doesn't just want to have one twist. It's like he has like the first twist, which is you finding out the whole concept of the film. You know, so like in Inception, the first twist is like, oh, it was all a dream. Oh my God. But then the second twist is like all the wife stuff and all that shit.
The second twist is, oh, it was still all a dream. Fuck.
yeah, exactly. Oh, it was more of a dream than I thought.
Wait, it was also a dream? Oh, wow.
And Interstellar has a similar thing, but like this movie, Tenet, like it's the same fucking thing. It just, you know, there's the whole twist at the beginning, which, you know, from the trailer, I won't say exactly, but the trailer tells you it's something to do with time travel. I won't say what. And then there's a twist later in the film that's like an even bigger twist to do with it. And it's like, bro, just cut out the second twist and just make it like an hour and 45 to 50 minutes.
It dragged, and it was just trying to be so, wow, look at us. Whoa, is your mind blown? And I was just like, I'm so hungover. I can't do this. At one point, I just so didn't understand and bored. I just sat there and I think I was just thinking about shit.
You know, one thing that
is a shame.
One thing that's a shame to me is that his movies are so impressive from a practical action standpoint, but action to me, what makes action more interesting is when you actually understand the stakes.
Yeah.
Whereas there are some, like if you're just watching an action scene with no emotional weight or stakes, then it becomes less enjoyable. And so Nolan tries to overcompensate for the lack of emotional connection.
There was also the characters
with
just
oh, it's so big and cool.
The characters were paper thin. Like there's no.
That's what I mean. There was no emotional connection to any of the characters. There was only one character, the girl. I think.
You just liked her ass, didn't you?
How dare you? I did, but that's not. No. She was the only somewhat like relatable character, and that was purely because she had a son. Like that was the only reason.
But that, again,
she actually had some kind of stakes in her life.
You made a good point when we left. I feel you're like everything they got. You could just tell they were so setting stuff up just to be like, do you get it now? You didn't see this coming, did you?
Yeah. There's something that happened in the first half of the movie.
There's like 3 things I counted.
Yeah, there is a few things, but there's one thing that happened specifically that I remember thinking,
okay,
this is obviously going to be part of the second act or the third act reveal and all this shit.
Did I get you?
It was just like, bro, no, you didn't get me. I realized when it happened that this was going to be part of the big woo.
Yeah, like there was. Look, I'm not saying every movie has to be funny, but even films like The Lighthouse has like got some good jokes.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know what? Also,
it was a
like
bit bland, to be honest.
some of the action scenes in the lighthouse, not that there's that many action scenes, but even like small amounts of action feel so big when there's big stakes, you know, when there's a big emotional weight behind it.
I think we said this, like, he shouldn't be writing them. He should just be directing them. I think if someone else helmed the script,
He needs to do like a Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, do that. Like, even get a co-writer in, like, just to do it all yourself. It felt really.
Yeah, because he's a fantastic director.
I know.
There were no shots or anything where I was confused, or like all the shots were good. It looked great. It was edited very well, but like, yeah, just the writing, man.
Yeah, what's his face from yesterday was in it.
Who?
Yesterday, all my troubles seem
Himesh
so
Patel,
far.
yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah, he surprised me that he was in it. Isn't that his second movie?
And they made him do an American accent.
Yeah, I legit. Hey, oh god, it's a shame because Nolan's great, but I do think this was but I don't know. People seem to really like it. I reckon the general public won't love it.
I don't know. I think that Nolan has this thing where, because look, have you looked up like the explanations to everything and stuff? Do you get it now?
It's in my watch later. I didn't really care that much.
Because after thinking about it, I understood like a good amount. Not everything I understood. Some things I was still a bit like, what was that? But I also felt that some of it they didn't pay off, and some of it I do think was just confusing for the sake of being confusing. And I think it's one of those movies, a little bit like Inception, no offense to Inception, where it's supposed to make like average people feel really smart when they figure it out. You know what I mean? And it's like, look, Inception is a really cool concept, and it's very well done. And to a degree, Tenet is well done in the way that it portrays its concept, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't think it's that deep. You know what I mean? I think it thinks that it's deeper than it is in a way. And that's not to say it's not smart, because it's fairly smart, but you know, who really cares if it's that smart? You know what I mean? Like,
it's like, yeah, I didn't love it, to be honest.
A show like, and look, I will also admit that this show is quite cliche to a degree, but like early seasons of Sherlock, for example,
right,
that's quite smart. Like that's smart writing, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas something like Tenet is the kind of movie I think that thinks it's smart, you know, and it really tries to be smart, but it doesn't really execute that as well as it could.
First 2 seasons of Sherlock, God tier.
Yes, that's why I say early seasons. You know, later seasons not so much. I think Sherlock suffered from the same thing where it starts to buy into its own, you know, it buy into its own aura. Yeah, exactly. It starts to think, oh, we are really smart. We should fucking blow people's minds. It's like, you don't need to blow people's minds, and you don't. What did you say? You were like, you shouldn't have to watch a film 3 times to get it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I don't want to go and see it again. Because I'm like, oh, maybe I should. Maybe I'll like it more if I do.
Look, I did enjoy it. We're shitting on it, but I did enjoy the film. I had a good time at the movies. And I do think a lot of it, you know, you watch it and there's big action pieces. I will say, by the way, and
it's worth seeing.
This is something, maybe this helps comparative wise, and maybe if you don't like this movie, you'll be better informed. But I personally prefer the action directing of Christopher McQuarrie, who did the most recent the last 2 Mission Impossible movies, because I think those movies are not trying to be anything special regarding the plot or the action. Like, to their credit, they're well written, and I appreciate that they're well written, but they don't try to blow your mind with how well written they are. They just go, we're going to give you a basic plot with a character that you can relate to, multiple characters, hopefully, that you can relate to, and we're also going to make the action just fucking kick ass, you know? And it totally succeeds with that. Whereas Tenet, and I think a lot of Nolan movies are much too high concept. They try to get this like really crazy concept across. It's like, you don't need to do that, you know?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
like, what was the benefit of doing the movie that they did over just doing a more simpler time travel movie
That sounds cool.
that has really good characters and really good action. It's like, why are you adding so much to the concept? It's like, take a bit of concept shit away and add to the characters and add to the action was fine, but like, add to the characters, make it more relatable and interesting. But then it wouldn't be a Nolan film.
No, exactly. Well, that's the thing. No, it was good to go. It was really good to go back to the cinema. It was really nice to go back to Gold Class, and I would say go see it. It's something that should be seen at the theater if it's safe. At least go and see. I mean, I know.
Well, that's actually why it's sort of controversial,
or like, I don't know, but you shouldn't risk your life to go.
Yeah, so that's why it's. Yeah, I saw someone make a joke. They were like, "I'm really risking my life for an 8 out of 10."
Exactly.
But, that's why I wanted to bring up that Twitter headline, because it says first major film to be released since the COVID-19 lockdown. And some people say that's potentially irresponsible. And I understand that. If it's in a place like America where, so for anyone who's wondering, we're in West Australia where there has been no community transmission in over 135 days, I think. So we are almost pretty much past COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had any community transmission in, like I said, over fucking, 4 months, I guess.
Plus, we are winning the battle to keep the borders closed.
We're
Good old
keeping the
Marky
borders
McGowan.
closed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marky.
Go, Mark.
Come on the show, Mark. You know you want to.
Yeah, he does want
But
can I say, though, I mean, I've heard a few people that I follow on Twitter and watch on YouTube. They've said, like Ralph the Movie Maker tweeted that he's driving 2 hours to see a showing.
wow.
And the Flick Pick, John Flickinger, he said that so far his
I saw
screening
that tweet, yeah.
only has like 17 people going.
Yeah.
And there's heaps of like space between each people.
Also, just so everyone knows, even though our cinemas are open, they still do have restrictions. So
right, it's true.
it's like if you have 2 seats, you can get 2 seats next to each other because friends or couples, but then any seat directly next to it is blocked off and diagonal.
But can I just say as well? Can I just say, sorry? A gold...
Yeah.
A Gold Class theater isn't huge. There's like, what, 35 seats or something like that?
Yeah, there's... Yeah, probably about that, yeah.
So it's not a huge cinema. I know it sounds quite big, but considering a normal theater...
Maybe 30 seats, yeah.
Holds
Gold Lounge,
like,
but
what,
yeah, normal
500
one.
people?
Oh, yeah, normal one. Yeah. A lot of people can go to a regular cinema, yeah.
So, going in the theater, it felt pretty empty because, there just wasn't...
Yeah, I mean, already a Gold Lounge showing is a little bit... Oh, I missed that. Sorry about
That's
that.
okay. That time it did look cool.
Already a Gold Lounge theater is feels a little bit smaller.
I like that, though. I mean...
But I like that, too. It's more intimate.
Well, when you go to Gold Class, people have paid good money to be there. There's no kids running around. There's no people on their phones.
I love that so much.
There's no one talking.
Also, and you know why there's no one on their phone is because, and I do, the Gold Lounge tickets are more expensive.
Yeah.
And some people complain about that, but I think when you've spent that much
That's
money
what
on
I said,
it.
yeah. I feel like when people are spending that much, I've seen one person on their phone in Gold Class, and that was years ago when I went to go see Guardians.
The only time I would check my phone, pretty much ever in a movie, would be for the time. But that's why I should get a watch, isn't it?
It is currently 7:09.
Oh, thank you very much.
Watches. They're handy.
Maybe they'll come into fashion.
But this guy, the lights had all gone down. The production companies were coming up, just before the movie started, and he's on his phone, going, "Oh, how do I turn it off?" Oh.
I was turning it off. See, I wasn't trying
to. And it was so bright as well. I swear, I think fucking Jesus could have seen it from the heavens above. It was so bright.
Oh, I love it.
But no, we don't go on our phones. I never do.
No, and I think.
I never check my phone when I go to the
But I will
toilet.
also say, I think, no offense to the kind of people who check their phones, but they're usually not the kind either who have the money or would spend the more extra money on going to see a movie.
Some people just go to the cinema because they're bored and they'll go.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember there was a guy.
But then when they do that, they're going to get the cheap ticket. They're not going to pay extra for the.
I think there was a guy at Ant-Man, and I think you might have been there, and he was, I swear on my life, he was on his phone the whole time. And when I went to see Solo in Kuala Lumpur.
He just wanted a nice, quiet place to.
I went to go see Solo.
It's not even quiet, is it?
Solo, I was in Kuala Lumpur. I was on my own in Kuala Lumpur. No one else was there. It was literally just me. I didn't know a single person in that. I don't even know is Kuala Lumpur, I'm going to say sound really dumb now. It's probably a state. It's not a country, is it?
Oh no, I sound dumb too. I thought it was a country. I'll check.
It might be a country. I don't want to say I was the only person in that I only knew in that country, but it must be an island or something.
Kuala Lumpur.
There's no going to Kuala Lumpur for old kids.
It's the federal territory. It's the capital of Malaysia.
It can be very beautiful. Those two.
A federal territory and the
fucking
capital
towers
city
there.
of Malaysia. So I guess it's a city.
I had a beautiful. Me and a couple of girls, we snuck into a hotel to like a pool villa, and we gave us a beautiful view of those two towers.
Here's some of the.
Those two towers, right?
If you wanna. Oh, I see these ones here.
Amazing spectacles, and we had we broke into a hotel. We didn't break in. We just. I don't know how we got up, but we got told to leave after like an hour. But that building right there.
Oh,
sorry, we've gone to that one.
This one. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh my god, the view is amazing. Anyway, I was in Kuala Lumpur all by myself because Alicia had left, and I was on my way back home, and I was like, I got like hours until my plane comes, so I went to go see Solo. On the day it came out, that is Solo, a Star Wars story. And it was just me.
So you went solo.
I went solo, yeah. I went to the cinema 3 times when I was there. I rewatched Endgame. No, I rewatched Infinity War, Deadpool, and then I saw Solo.
Bro, what competition for solo? Infinity War and Deadpool?
I know. Deadpool too.
Did they ever think they were going to... Yeah, but still, did they ever think they were going to make money at the box office?
There was literally me, 2 people, and then another guy, and he sat on his phone the whole time. I don't think he looked up at the screen once.
Because...
I swear on my life.
Funny. Because didn't Solo flop?
It didn't perform very well.
Yeah.
To be fair, in Kuala Lumpur, their cinemas are beautiful. They're very professional. They're very beautiful cinema like theaters. They do like caramel popcorn.
Oh yeah, it didn't do very well.
Caramel popcorn's fucking good, eh?
Oh,
they did like caramel popcorn and like they had like these lovely like sweet cups with like all different sweets in it.
You know what
I
love that they did in the UK when I was a kid, and they don't do it here, and I don't know why. I wish they
sugar
did.
popcorn?
Sugar fucking popcorn. It's so good.
It's the best.
Bro.
I came here and I was so annoyed.
Same here.
How good is sugar popcorn? I'm like, salt?
I went, yeah.
Well, you know why? It's so you buy more drinks because you're fucking
obviously
salty.
But I just don't get why they don't have 2 options. One sugar, one salt. Because I'm pretty sure that's what they have in the UK.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, if you want sugar or salt, you can have the choice.
Man, sugar popcorn, caramel popcorn. Like we were going to go to the cinema in Bali. We never did. We should have gone. But like, if you go to like a gold lounge, it's not called that, but if you go to like a similar gold lounge in like a Kuala Lumpur or Bali, it's like $15.
Yeah, it's very cheap. Yeah, it is. And that's not even like a member ticket. That's just a regular, full price.
I remember I saw Force Awakens in a Bali cinema, and you think that'd sound really, you think that'd be like a hell dingy place, but no, it's very, very beautiful.
Oh, I don't question. I mean, I'd love to go to somewhere in like fucking Mozambique and compare that to
I don't know if
an African cinema, see how shitty that is.
I mean, it's like that weird cinema we watched Baby Driver in. Remember that?
Yeah, that was weird.
And I got ID'd to go see Baby Driver, which, by the way, is an MA15 movie, so you have to be 15 to go see it. I was like 19 at the time, and I got ID'd.
That's pretty funny.
I never got ID'd at the pub, but I got ID'd at the pub. You have to be 18, by the way. That I understand. I got ID'd to go see an MA15 plus movie. I think he was taking the piss, and he only asked me.
That's pretty tough.
I was with you and Declan.
Oof.
Yeah, he is taking the. By the way, Dan.
Yes.
At Moe's,
I'm trying to find
our famous pub.
Yes, of course.
You do know the kitchen closes in 45 minutes.
That's tough.
You know it closes at 8. Maybe it's 9.
I'm just gonna hope and pray that it's 9.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I feel
and
bad
then
for you.
See what happens. No, it's okay. Worst case, I just fucking don't eat, innit?
That doesn't sound. That's not a great case.
Yeah, that's why I said worst case.
Oh, right. I thought you said best case.
No. It certainly is the worst case. Sorry, I'm trying to find a fucking Twitter thing. But
what's best about that?
So what I wanted to talk about next was this fucking Britney Spears thing. I don't know if you've heard. So have you heard anything about this?
No.
This can be a bit of a short clip if you want, because
what is it?
we're not the biggest Britney fans necessarily, but Britney Spears has for the last like 10 years been under, I think, what's called a conservatorship
Okay.
from her father.
My father. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So because she, I don't know what, maybe she's bipolar or something. She has some mental.
Well, clearly, do you know the massive like outbursts?
Yeah, she had the breakdown. That's right. Well, infamously, she had the
Leave
breakdown.
Britney alone.
Leave
her alone.
I think after that whole incident, her dad basically took custody or some shit of her, and he controls like all her assets. But it's really crazy. He can control like who she gets married to, all her finances. Crazy amount of control. It's really creepy. And so there's been this hashtag for the last few years called hashtag Free Britney, which all her fans have been getting on top of. And basically recently it came out that she actually went to a judge and asked the judge to take off the conservatorship from Britney's dad. And the update that I'm seeing here is that Britney Spears' sister makes move to control pop stars' assets. So Britney Spears' sister, who is the girl from Zoe 101,
Yes. Yeah.
total cutie, Jamie Lynn Spears, she apparently has moved to be Britney's new conservator, which, just seems like it's good news. I mean, I just don't know why I don't know why she'd be placed under control of her dad. That just seems so. Also, her dad was her manager for a long time as well.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, so it's just really
they do
creepy.
a similar kind of spoof in The Simpsons, I think, but that's kind of how I knew about the connection and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
I just wanted to bring that up because it's clickbait. But
and then she made that song with Will I Am.
Britney, I don't know about that.
I want to scream. And
yeah, I know that
and
one.
let it all out.
Oh wow!
Scream.
Don't sing so well. We'll get bloody copyrighted.
Britney, bitch. Yeah, Britney had a huge breakdown. She.
It's tough. I feel. Do you think if that happened today, it would be so publicized?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I don't know though. I mean, if you think about Kanye's shit with all the running for president.
Yeah,
stuff,
but I reckon Kanye's like publicist is because there's probably a few.
Yeah, what they're pushing it.
I reckon they're fucking like they got like gone leaps and bounds and all that shit. Like,
yeah, but again, like
Kanye, if you're going to call,
what I'm saying is
like Kanye, if you're going to call Kim, call her from a payphone. They're tracking your calls.
But I don't know if you saw, but there were a lot of people on Twitter that were saying when Kanye had his whole outburst, like, he's clearly going through a mental breakdown. Let's not talk about it. Let's not cover it. Let him just go through it in peace. So I wonder if there would be a bit more understanding for something like that if it happened today.
Yeah, but sadly, people see a woman do it and go, what an overreactor.
Yeah, well, that's right. That happens. It's more fun for the masses. Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, it's true.
No, unfortunately,
I reckon that is true. Like, I feel like,
and I think
because she's a woman, she wouldn't. It's because it's Kanye and he's cool and hip. They don't really.
Yeah, that's true.
It's wacko Brit. It's like,
would you ever give your?
Well, wacko Jacko is a bit of a thing.
Would you ever give your any like control? First of all, to anyone, but let alone your fucking parents.
No, because I've heard horror stories about that.
It's terrible. I mean, a lot of child stars their parents would be their managers.
Yeah.
That to me is
Macaulay
just
Culkin.
insane.
No, I don't know. No, Macaulay Culkin's parents pushed him to be in films, and same with Daniel Radcliffe's parents. They pushed him to be.
Although, I've seen interviews with Daniel Radcliffe. It sounds like his parents were really respectful.
To
him.
They were. Yeah, same. I've heard good things.
I just think it sounds like there's a lot of parents who take advantage of their kids.
Yes.
And take advantage of the fame and money that they bring.
Honey boy.
I was just gonna say it's a bit like Honey Boy,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Britney's a bit of a loose cannon, but I think she's a nice lady. Like, she must be sober now, at least.
I think she is a loose. Yeah, I think she is sober, but I think she's a loose cannon. But I also think that
was it Britney Spears who? Was it Britney Spears or was it Lindsay? No, it was Lindsay Lohan. I think who Steve-O was telling the story about how Lindsay Lohan stole his coke at a party. I think it was Lindsay Lohan. Apparently, she just walked up to him and snatched his coke.
You for example, just
that is cocaine, by the way. Not.
Did you say this on the show about the Did you say that on the show?
No, I didn't.
Okay, then
found out
I won't bring it up.
Maybe T minus 5 hours ago.
All right, well, I won't bring it up, but I'm just saying, whatever kind of people we are, I don't know if we'd be able to handle the amount of, I mean, you imagine the amount of fame she had, you know, like, and I'm not even just saying us specifically, but like anyone who is a regular fucking person, I just don't think they're designed for that kind of fame and shit. And I think anyone could either crack or be lucky enough to have the right publicist and all that sort of shit. It could happen both ways.
Well, I've heard many famous people say people have like judged them and they're like, be completely honest, what person could possibly go through all that and not go crazy?
And especially like, you know, we've talked here about YouTubers who have fans show up to their house and shit.
Yeah,
that would be doubly for like celebrities and stuff. That, you know, they would deal with that too.
I think that's fucking disgraceful.
How would you deal with that though? How
expect a
stressful would that be to deal with?
I mean, I remember like I've seen stuff like mums are waiting outside the houses and when you don't come out, they're like, these kids pay your rent.
Oh my
and all
God.
that shit. And it's
bro,
like,
the mums are worse. The parents,
Fuck off. Apparently, like,
yeah, they do that. They say, we pay your salary. It's like, fuck
no,
off.
you don't, you pillock. I mean, technically, sure, if you really want to go into it deep, but not really at all. Like, are you serious? You could be using ad block, you bitch.
But I mean, what about like a fucking, I don't know, like a garbage man, someone who's hired by the city, which comes out of the tax budget. Are you going to go to their house? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are you going to go to a fucking garbage person's house and say, we pay your salary because it comes out of our taxes? Fuck no, of course not. Like,
I do find it weird. I don't, my neighbors, I assume watch my videos and that scares me enough because they know my name and I'm like,
God, it'd be scary if my neighbors watched my videos.
Yeah, I wouldn't want your neighbors seeing the podcast, but yeah, it does freak me out. It's going to definitely take some getting used to, but that's why therapy exists, folks.
Well, exactly. And you know, we're lucky that we started now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to a degree, our therapists are lucky because, you know, once we do really get the shit that needs to be dealt with, they'll be like, well, okay, well, at least I know you.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like, you know, obviously your problems change over time. Same problems you were arguing about or complaining about like a year ago.
Oh, 100%.
Hopefully aren't still apparent. Unless they are. But yeah, no, it would be really difficult to go for like a public meltdown. I really do think so. But you got to do something like Shane Dawson, for example. Like he must be on complete no phone, no.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if he's still at his house because I hear sometimes celebrities get shipped off to like a
overseas. Yeah.
Well, just
like a holiday.
Just another house where they don't have any social media. Like they just locked away. Like
I don't blame it. And
then in like 3 months time they come back and everyone's like, oh, what happened? Oh yeah, he did. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know,
that's what they do. There was this guy recently.
I wonder if Shane comes back though. That'd be crazy.
There was this guy on fucking Fox News host who's very controversial, Tucker Carlson, and he makes very sort of controversial comments to say the least. And every now and then when he says something that is a bit too offensive, the network announces like, oh, he's going on a planned vacation or a planned holiday. And it
just lines up with his controversial speech.
Yeah, exactly. And then they send him off to some fucking like Bali or some shit.
I disagree.
Yeah. And they probably do the same thing. They probably say, you know, no phones, no social media, just fucking don't say anything until this all blows over.
Yeah,
you know?
Rylan probably put Shane's phone in a blender and turned it on. What moron goes on Instagram Live?
Dude, the Instagram Live is hilarious.
It's great. It's just bizarre.
What is it? He's like, you are fake crying.
Yeah, I was abused as a child. I was. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Shane, what are you doing?
It's
you're coming to my home. Shit, nah, man, it's crazy.
It is wild, and but again, I you know, sometimes that's probably the best thing. Just send them away. Just say you are in hot water. Just fucking stay out of the limelight. Let other people be controversial.
Yeah, Britney's breakdown was huge. I even remember as a kid, like even I was a parent of Britney's breakdown.
And you know what's crazy about the coverage of her breakdown is her breakdown is no longer like a part of her life. It's a part of the culture. There are so many shows that have references to Britney breaking down.
She did a Britney.
There are so many. Yeah, exactly. And like, and you're right though with the girl thing. Like you compare it to like we watched Honey Boy recently. Shia LaBeouf's breakdown was publicized to a degree. You know, he had the whole "I'm not famous anymore" stunt, but his breakdown was very, very scarce in terms of, and it's certainly not part of the culture in the same way that Britney's is.
You knew it was happening, but you didn't really know much of the details.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like people think of, 2007, that was the Britney breakdown year, or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's a shame. I feel bad for it, but hopefully this is a good step in the right direction. And people can finally start leaving her alone.
And hopefully Britney's peers can start helping her.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll give you that one.
Cheers, Don.
So I wanted to talk. I'll wait for the clap to die down. I'm waiting for the audience. I'm doing like a comedian. I'm like, waiting for the audience. So next thing I wanted to talk about was Leafy is here. Do you know who this man is?
Well, he's not here, is he?
Leafy isn't here. Leafy is.
Yeah,
Leafy's on holiday. He was put on a vacation.
I feel like with Leafy, I never watched his videos. I was aware of him, but it wasn't until the content cop I knew a lot about him. And then he made a tremendous comeback only recently.
Yeah, I thought it was recently too.
Well, he
because
said he was done with YouTube.
I've only started hearing about Leafy recently in the news. And then I saw that he was completely banned. What?
Do you know he literally... Well, they'd been leaked before, but he had nudes like
poor
a few
Leafy.
years ago.
Jesus. How old is he?
He's like in his 20s, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then he, like a few weeks ago, just publicly tweeted them.
What?
And the nude is him
Oh, no.
like bending over and spreading his cheeks.
No. I won't show it on the show, but
I haven't even seen it. I've just heard that H3 spoke about it.
Oh, my God.
H3 spoke about it. I haven't
Are
seen
you sure he posted it himself? Oh my God. Oh, wow. Damn, Leafy.
He posted it on Twitter.
Wow. That's, oh my goodness.
He posted it on Twitter.
Jesus.
So it got leaked, and then he was like, okay, I might as well.
Tab.
He might as well post it, I guess. I told you he was fucking like,
Apparently this is one too. I don't know if this is.
what, him getting sucked off by some bird.
Well, I think his balls are getting, anyway, I don't want to get too graphic, but Jesus Christ.
He literally tweeted it. He was like, all right, I guess it's out there.
God damn, that's wild.
And H2 was saying like, what a pristine like ass he has because his is so fucking hairy.
Actually, his ass was very, very shaved. Yeah, that was
clearly just he just clearly likes
that
it
looks
fucking,
waxed. I will say, yeah.
I don't know anyone who does that.
My ass would look, but actually, to be fair,
H2 was like, you couldn't even see my asshole if you try to do that.
yeah, if I spread over and did that, yeah, it would be not nearly as pretty. So props to Leafy for that. But no. So what's the news, Connor? Why don't you break this down? Because I'm actually,
but he's gone. He's dead. He's not dead, but
so I'll read you the headline. So the headline says Leafy YouTube permanently bans controversial creator Leafy is here. Move comes as YouTube cracks down on creator harassment. So basically, he has been what do you call it? Banned for violating the harassment
YouTuber,
policy.
Creator Daniel Keemstar Keem
has a history of making videos that include offensive comments, including a now deleted video from 2016 that mocked the appearance of another creator. I mean,
wasn't he disabled?
Maybe, I don't know, but I feel like mocking someone's looks, I mean, that's a shitty thing to do, but...
You having a good time?
I mean, a lot of people do that. I'm not saying, I'm not commenting if it is worth, but I will say this, what I do know, so what I think happened
I'll tell you this.
was that, he actually got a shout out.
Really?
Found himself at the center of a few high-profile disputes over the last few months, most notably with H3H3's Ethan Klein and Twitch streamer Pokimane.
Oh, Pokimane, yeah.
So apparently, this is what I heard, was that basically Leafy's like last 10 videos on YouTube were basically all hate videos on Pokimane, or
mostly
kind of
Pokimane and H3. And
yeah, they were like hate / just digging into her as a creator and saying, and apparently he was saying shit like, he was just saying like, oh, how can she just shake her ass and tits for views and stuff like that? And I think they spoke about it on the H3 podcast. They were like, you making videos, all you're doing is complaining about a girl shaking their tits and ass for money. Like, that is not hard either, you know? If you're saying it's not hard to shake your ass for money, then it's also not hard to complain about it.
It's also coming from a man who took a selfie in the mirror of his gaping ass. So, you know, take his word with a pinch of
we don't want to
salt,
kink
right?
shame here. He can take a selfie wherever his ass pleases.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know if that's the best angle to be.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I would also criticize the.
I don't think a girl looks at a man and goes, she might, but I don't think the most attractive thing is someone's asshole.
I would personally criticize the photography quality. I would as well. I'll join you in that. Wow. Okay. Look. So it says here that since Leafy was banned, he joined Storyfire, which is made by or co-created by Jesse Ridgway, McJuggernuggets. But basically, there's a lot of discussion about what is.
Well, did you see the clip that's trending on Twitter right now with Leafy and Keemstar, and it got uploaded, and it was Keemstar talking to Leafy, and it was Leafy was saying how he went to one of the Black Lives Matters marches, and he said he bought a gun and hid it under his jumper.
I did hear this. Yeah, that was wild.
And then he literally said, he's like, I really hope one day someone gives me an excuse to shoot them.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Doesn't sound
That was
great.
pretty crazy. But so to just play devil's advocate, what people are being concerned about with this whole Leafy thing is that where do you cross the line? So, and I said this to you when we found out Leafy was banned. So Keemstar doesn't need to be banned, but Leafy does. You know, like, it just seems to be not very clear what is worth banning or not. Because, you know, Keemstar does a lot of creator harassment, essentially.
Yeah, he does heaps.
And so then what do you...
Yeah, but there aren't many people like Keemstar and Leafy, like, thank God. But
well, I would say there's a lot, but there's not a lot that are so big as Leafy and Keemstar. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's probably a lot of people trying to get as big as them by doing the same kind of video, but...
I think the problem with Leafy, and again, Keemstar's done this as well. It was, you know, Pokimane released that she was taking, and still is taking a break, like a mental health break, and he just continued to.
I see. Harass her while.
Yeah, but Keem did it as well. So I agree with what you're saying. It's like, well, where the fuck do we draw the line?
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, if Leafy's unacceptable, then why isn't Keemstar? But then also people are saying, well, if Leafy's unacceptable, you know, if they can just decide who's unacceptable and who's not, you know, that's the question of like, well, where do you draw that line? You know, because when do they decide, oh, well, you know, Ethan Klein, H3 is too unacceptable, or someone like Pokimane is too unacceptable because they show too much skin, or, you know, where can you draw the line? Look, that's just a devil's advocate. I would say that generally there's a lot of, you know, lines that I do think it's important to take it on a case-by-case basis. But like even this article, and it's funny, I just noticed this, mentions Steven Crowder as an example, you know? So it says... Right. This Vox host tweeted out multiple instances where conservative pundit Steven Crowder used homophobic and other derogatory language to talk about him, and YouTube didn't respond to that situation pretty much in any way. I think they did demonetize him briefly. And actually, I don't know if he's been remonetized.
This Crowder thing was like last year, wasn't it?
I think in my opinion, that's probably the best way to go, is to demonetize someone. First, you know, I'm not saying that a ban is you should never ban someone. Maybe sometimes you should ban someone, but I will say that I think it's probably better to demonetize them first, because I mean, to cut off someone's money is a pretty good way to de-incentivize them from doing that kind of content, you know?
Well, someone tells me we haven't seen the last of Leafy. I also think we have.
I don't think he's going to Leafy that easily. But that's a good question. Like if they
I
had,
don't think he will be gone forever. I reckon he'll be back.
no, well, no,
He left
certainly.
for years. Jesus, this all sounds like.
So it is.
No, he left. Yeah, he left for like 3 years. Something ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
And he just came back. It was crazy.
What if he wants to come back in a year's time? Is YouTube going to say, well, you were permanently banned, or, oh, well, it's not that bad. It was only a short ban. You know, again, I think what annoys people is YouTube's vagueness. YouTube always, whenever they make a big decision like this, they aren't specific enough. And again, if you were specific, you said, look, this specific creator is very big and they specifically harass people and they target people and we won't tolerate that. That's okay. I think that's fair enough. But it's a lack of a statement that I think is confusing people.
Are we going to be on Storyfire soon, like Leafy?
I don't know. Are we going to be banned from YouTube soon?
I hope not. I don't know.
Again, what if
He just starts making videos on Storyfire.
what if beer becomes too
Yeah.
advertiser unfriendly? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose beer themselves would advertise, so at least you've got one advertiser there who
Well,
wants to
I've been hearing
advertise.
as well about this whole YouTube law thing in Australia that's having an issue with. So like that could be a huge problem for us as well.
Yeah, but that's more so to do with the news media than it is with YouTube.
It's just another day
banning us,
in
but-
WA and YouTube AU.
It's very true. It's very true.
It just is like it's just another day. Honestly,
No, it is. Speaking of YouTube, just quickly before we go on to the next topic, I hit up a girl called Sarah.
Oh, this is.
I'll give her a little shout out if she watches this episode.
She definitely won.
So she, just a funny story. We saw her at Margaret River, and she.
Clip, I reckon.
So she was in Margaret River when we were there, and we saw her at the pub, and we basically.
Well,
Mitch was trying to chat her up.
Mitch was yeah, Mitch was a bit like that.
He was trying to flirt with her. He was trying to chat her up, and then
Trying.
we found out that she used to be, or she is, a podcast promoter or advertiser or something. And I was like, oh my God, that's so interesting. So I got her on Facebook and I said, can I message you? And then I didn't message her for like 2 months. And I messaged her like last week and I said, hi.
A month. But
A month. Okay. A month. I messaged her last week and I said, hi.
Yeah.
I have a podcast. You said I could message you. Is that okay? And then for a week, she like left me on scene. So I thought I was just in the dark. But then today she messaged back. She said, sorry, I meant to get back to you. I'm only just seeing this. I'm happy to help. And I said, here's the channel. And she said, I'm on it. I'm going to have a look. So
so she actually applied
yeah,
past
yeah.
that.
She said she'd look at it and everything. So I haven't heard back from her, but she probably will get back to us with some tips. And then if you
so
start to see a few changes around here, it's going to be because we got tips from a professional.
Is she coming on the show?
Hold your horses, cowboy. I didn't get that far.
I'm just asking.
Giddy up, okay?
How much Bunsen are we talking?
What? Pay her for the consultation. Remember, I did say at the pub,
Bunsen burner.
I said, can I pay you?
That's the. Do you remember I said that?
Yeah, I know you said that. I thought you were asking me now.
No, I said to her, how much Bunsen are we talking?
You
She's
twat.
like, what do you mean? I was like, it's a joke from the office. And no one ever gets my jokes
Such a twat.
from that brilliant show. But
Basically,
I think I just do shit that I think's funny because it entertains me. So
Celavi. So basically I said to her, can I pay you for the consultation? She was like, no, I'll take a look. And so she was really nice. So we'll see if anything comes of that. And like I said, if any changes start to come, I would love to have her on the show, but I'll ease that in.
this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
Yeah. She's like, first of all, get new hosts.
That's really sad.
No, we'll see what she says. Maybe she likes it. Maybe she just says the problem is our advertising. To be honest, that's what I think is our main problem.
What do you mean advertising?
No, like our social media and stuff, which
Well, it
we're
doesn't
getting
help
on
when you
top
don't make a
of, by the
fucking
way.
Facebook page.
I know. I'm getting to the Facebook. The Instagram is there. The Twitter is there. By the way,
killing it with the Twitters.
And you are doing a very good job with the Twitter.
Thank you. Follow us on Twitter at For a Laugh Pod, and the Out of Context page is at OOC for a laugh.
Exactly. And the Instagram is also at For a Laugh Pod. And I've been meaning we need to make a graphic for the end of the show. So there's all this stuff. Like we need to get on the marketing, but I do think the show itself, we have that. But anyway, regardless, I just wanted to bring that up because that's a little update. You wanted to bring up Futurama. What is this about?
I watched a really good video today on an episode of Futurama. And I wanted to know because we're huge Simpsons
Jurassic
fans.
Park.
Yeah, okay, I've seen Jurassic Park.
Sorry, what's the episode?
I don't know what it was called, but it was in like a later season, and I think it looked really cool. But here's the thing: I never liked the show as a kid. Personally, I've never loved Futurama. I always try to get into it. I remember I tried to start it once. Yeah, I think I was watching it with Archie, and I only got to like episode 4 and was like, I fucking don't like this. Like, but I'm such a huge fan of The Simpsons. It's the same creators.
I actually have been thinking recently I want to give it a try too.
Really?
Honest.
I might now that I'm older.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. I think I always thought of Futurama as more of a mature show than The Simpsons. And I don't mean mature in terms of subject matter. I just mean a show that's harder to understand as a kid.
It does seem like that. And you know, it was like a Family Guy. It got cancelled and then it got revived on comedy.
Well, the first thing I saw of Futurama was
Comedy Central, or I think it was Comedy Central.
So what happened was I think they got they aired a few and then they got cancelled. And I don't know if they got renewed for a few seasons and then got cancelled again, but they got renewed by Comedy Central for like 4 TV movies.
2 movies, yeah. They spoke about this in the video. It was really cool.
And that was the first exposure I had to. So I remember my friend and I went on this holiday. Sometimes you go on holiday with a friend and their family. We were on holiday, and he had a PSP. Remember PSP?
Yeah.
And PSPs had this thing at the time. It's really weird that they had it. Yeah, but it was like a PSP game disc, but it had a movie on it.
That's sick.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it because it's such a niche thing, but he had the PSP game disc or movie discs for the Futurama movies. And while we were on this holiday, I think it was in Wales or something, we watched the Futurama TV movies on his PSP. Totally weird experience.
Was it good?
I remember loving it. I thought it was like, wow, this is so funny. This is so goofy. Like,
apparently those movies are really good.
I thought I enjoyed them a lot when I was a kid.
I don't know.
I had sort of seen it on TV, but it was very much, was not, I think The Simpsons is easier to watch when it comes on. Do you get what I mean? And so Futurama to me seems a bit more like you need to know what's going on a little bit to be able to enjoy it.
Either, is it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That makes it difficult these days.
Why isn't it? Because it's owned by Fox.
No, it was on, I remember ages ago when we had...
No, but why isn't it on Disney if it's owned by Fox? Do you know what I mean?
Comedy Central, surely.
Yeah, but wouldn't Fox be the production company? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, because like it was on Netflix. It was on American Netflix for a long time.
Ah, okay.
And we had a VPN, so we watched. I watched a few, I think.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if it's still on there. It might be.
You should have a look. You should check.
It might be. I'd be interested to give it a go.
Yes,
but I've never liked it as a kid. I remember people at school loved it, and I was like, because I've been such a huge Simpsons fan, I think the only other cartoon I enjoyed as a kid, and I never really loved it, but I enjoyed it, was South Park. I think
here's the thing with Simpsons and South Park that I think are relatable for both kids and adults. Simpsons is such a relatable show in general because when you watch it as a kid, it's a bit like SpongeBob, where when you watch SpongeBob as a kid, you relate to SpongeBob, and when you watch it as an adult, you relate to Squidward, right? When you watch The Simpsons as a kid, you relate to Bart, and then when you grow up, you watch it and you relate to Homer, And when you watch, what was the other show you said? South Park.
Yeah.
When you watch it as a kid, you relate to the kids, and then when you watch it as an adult, I guess you appreciate the more adult humor, Whereas Futurama doesn't really have a place for kids to relate to it. It's much more of an adult related show. But I mean, if you think about it, Fry is like a 20-year-old, working class guy. You'd probably relate to that pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I always liked Fry.
But there was no way for you to relate to that as a kid.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it's interesting how there are some shows that have a bit more of a, and Rick and Morty has the same thing. Morty is who the kids relate to when they're a kid.
Morty.
And then when they grow up, Rick is who they relate to. So it's
Morty. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we're going to talk about this anyway. I mean, I did start a new show. I started Sopranos.
Yes, The
After
Sopranos.
promising
Yeah.
Dan for maybe a year now.
I know.
Maybe over a year. I said I would start it. It was going to be a surprise on the show, but Dan snuck on to Foxtel Go and he saw that I started watching it. And I knew he knew because he sent me, it wasn't just coincidence. He sent me, I mean,
I think I sent you the ducks, I think.
You sent me the statue.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
like the
the
first
statue.
shot in the episode. I was like, that's way too much of a coincidence. Because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
send me out of context Sopranos when
I do.
mean, I actually like on Twitter the Sopranos out of context
Yeah.
page, and I've never watched the show. They just seem pretty funny.
It is funny.
So I was like, that can't just be an out of context. You know I'm watching it. And then he sent the ducks, and I'm like, this fucker. I literally was like, that's gonna be a surprise on the show. And you just happened to go on it.
Sopranos is a good example of what we were just saying. I actually remember I tried to watch The Sopranos when I was like maybe 15, I think. I bought the first season on iTunes and I tried to watch it.
You bought the first season?
Yeah, I did. I think I bought the first 2 seasons on
Really?
iTunes and I tried to watch it, but I never, when I was a kid, not a kid, when I was like 15, I didn't enjoy it, partly because I didn't understand it. But now I realize as an adult that I just didn't relate to it. The Sopranos is a very adult show. And especially Tony going to therapy, there's no way I could relate to that as a 15-year-old.
I got no time for these fucking panic attacks.
But as a fucking 21-year-old who has to live the real world and goes to therapy, I fucking fully relate to that show, you know? Like,
how much did you watch when you were a kid? I didn't know you watched it.
I think I watched when I was like 15, 16. I think in year 11 or 12, I watched the first season.
Really?
Yeah,
So you rewatched it?
yeah, I like forced myself to watch the whole first season because I didn't really get it. I wasn't really enjoying it that much, but I was like, no, I've heard it's so good. I'll watch the first season. And I just didn't, you know, it was a bit too, I wasn't smart enough to understand it, I guess. I don't know.
Do you think I'll like it?
I think you'll like it. And again, I think because you will be able to relate to it in a lot of ways, you know.
There's some cool stuff so far. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm
And
sure
you know what's interesting
I'm sure it
because
gets really good.
you know, like I was saying about like with The Simpsons, you know, you relate to Bart, but like with The Sopranos, it does have AJ.
AJ.
But even though I would say the way they portray AJ is very much from adults looking at a kid growing up, you know? So again, as an adult, I look at the way they portray AJ and I go, oh, you know, kids are like that. But when I was a kid, I wasn't really like, oh, that's not how I feel. Why are they portraying a kid like that? You know, it doesn't really speak to a kid's experience, but it definitely speaks to the way you look at kids.
AJ. Yeah, I'm interested. There's like, what, 6 seasons?
6 seasons, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So there's 13 episodes per season, but series, the final season, there's like 21.
Yes. Well, yeah. So series 6, what they did was they did part 1 and part 2.
Oh, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but
Really?
literally,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So the first one I think had 9 episodes, and the second half had 15. So overall, there's 21 episodes.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's a long.
Oh no, sorry, not
season.
15. 9 and 11.
So you would you would say is it
Or 12,
similar to
9 and
Breaking
12.
Bad? Is it just similar like stuff just gets crazy like?
Well, actually, The Sopranos is quite interesting. It does a little bit. The stakes do get higher,
Yeah.
but The Sopranos.
I mean, I don't know anything. I don't know. You know, when I started Breaking
Yeah,
Bad, I knew
yeah.
Gus was gonna die. I knew a lot of stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay, interesting.
I knew a lot of stuff.
So
And then I only watched the final 8 episodes live.
with The Sopranos, and actually at the end of season 2, the season 2 finale is one of the best. I would probably say the season 5 finale is the best, or like, you know, leading up to the season 5 finale, not just the episode. But the season 2 finale is really, really good because something happens that kind of builds up over the first season and the second season. But the thing with The Sopranos, so with Breaking Bad, what's so unique about it is that over the course of the show, all of the characters change dramatically and the plot changes a lot, right? Whereas in The Sopranos, the plot does change, obviously, but the characters stay very similar over the show, you know, but that's okay. It's not about the characters changing dramatically. I mean, they do change, but they don't change nearly as much as the characters in Breaking Bad. I mean, Walt from the beginning of Breaking Bad is completely different to Walt at the end.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Tony at the end of The Sopranos is not that much different from Tony at the beginning. You know, like he does change, but it's not to the same degree. And same with like all the characters in The Sopranos compared to all the characters in Breaking Bad. The Sopranos is much more let me put it this way. Breaking Bad is a show about like an ordinary family where something crazy, something wild happens to them, and it shows how crazy that changes them. So the wild thing is Walt gets cancer and their father goes into meth dealing, right? So those are two insanely rare and insanely wild things to happen to a family. And Breaking Bad is okay, how does this affect that family? With The Sopranos, it's like you have an ordinary family who happens to be involved in the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
And the show is about how does this what is ordinary family life like? It's such a great portrayal of an ordinary family. It just has that added mix of the dad is in the mob, right? So it's basically, and it's not a sitcom, but it's like a family sitcom with the twist that it's not a sitcom, it's a drama, and also the dad is in the mafia. That's the way I look at it. And I'm sure you've watched, how many episodes you watched now? 3?
3, yeah.
I'm sure you've noticed it's very much about the family dynamic.
Yeah.
How does Tony interact with Carmela? How do they interact with AJ and Meadow? How does Meadow because Meadow's looking for a college in the first season, isn't that right?
Right.
Oh, she's in her last season of her last year of high school.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very much about the family dynamics and how family how family works, It really is like a show about family and a show about what a regular family is like. Even when the dad is a mob boss, So
right.
It's very, very interesting. And also Tony's relationship with his mother as well. That's a huge part of the show. His uncle, it is his uncle, his Uncle Junior,
Yeah.
That whole thing, it's all very, very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I'm interested.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I'm going to watch it.
There's it's so Italian as well.
I am watching it.
I don't know if you've seen the episode yet, but there's an episode, and you'll know when it comes up, where Anthony Jr. says something about in school they're studying the inventor of the telephone.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're studying the inventor of the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah.
And Tony is like, you see, that's the fucking problem with these schools. They don't teach you real history. Antonio Meucci, that's who invented the telephone, an Italian.
Really?
Yeah, and he goes on this whole big rant about like an Italian invented the telephone and they fucking stole it from us, just like they stole everything else. Like, it's very Italian, the show. And I love that scene because it shows how patriotic they are for Italy,
Right.
But what's so interesting is that they're very specifically Italian American.
Right.
Because later in the show, actual Italians sort of come over and visit, or they interact with actual Italians. And it's interesting to see how different they are from the American Italians. But it's a very, very interesting show. I think you'll like it.
I noticed in the titles as well, the Twin Towers are in it.
That's what I was thinking of sending you. Instead of sending you the statue,
the Twin Towers?
I was going to send you the Twin Towers from the Sopranos intro. I think they removed that shot after
I was going to say, surely.
Because I think season 1 was 1999 and I think season 2 was either 2000 or 2001. So I think after season 2, they removed the shot of the Twin Towers.
There's like a 2-year gap between series 1 and 2.
There's like a 1.5 gap between every series.
Bro, that's like fucking...
between the airing. I don't know about within the show. It's probably about a 1.5 years.
That's like Curb. Like, there's something ridiculous, like a 6-year gap between...
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
I think 8 and 9, there's a 5 or something year gap. It's crazy.
But so with all that being said, what do you actually think of the first
it's good.
couple of episodes? Yeah.
It's hard to get into a show with anything.
Yeah, of course. It takes a while to really get into it.
Every show's it's difficult to start a new show because you're like, who's this? What's this? But yeah, I'm sure I'll really get into it.
And it is a bit like Game of Thrones with all the relationships, because there is, there's Tony, there's Carmela, AJ, Meadow, but then there's also all the mafia guys, there's fucking Paulie and what's the Silvio, who's the really quiet guy. There's Big Pussy. There's fucking all these different guys. Who else? There's Uncle Junior, obviously. There's him. There's the mum. There's fucking all the places as well. There's Bada Bing, there's Satrial's, there's fucking Tony's house. There's all these places. It's got a lot of shit to it, you know. So I don't blame you. There's also Christopher and his girlfriend Adriana, you know. So there's a whole bunch of different characters.
Yeah, there's heaps. It's like gonna take a while to get.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
Get used
to know and to understand.
Yeah.
But once you know who they are and everything, once you get acquainted with that, you really start to it does get very interesting.
Yeah, man, I'm interested. I mean, I'll keep watching it.
Yeah, no, you should. You should stick with it. And again, like I said, it takes you a little while to really get it, but once you get into it, it's very, very good. And there's also obviously Dr. Melfi, Tony's therapist, which is so. What do you think of the therapy scenes?
Don't scream. No, I think they're great. They're my favorite scenes.
They're so good. They're a very, very good portrayal of therapy.
I mean, I went to therapy today, so the last 2 days I've been watching those therapy scenes, and I'm like, it's pretty accurate, to be fair.
It's very accurate. You know,
I was saying it down. It makes me laugh how like pretty much at the end of every one of his sessions, he's like, "Fucking bullshit! I ain't coming back here again." And it like 10 minutes later, he sat back down. Like a few days later, like, so my friend has cancer, and
oh yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah. The guy. Okay, yeah.
I'm very early days.
Now I'm remembering storylines, aren't I?
Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah.
So of course I'll keep watching. For you, I will. It was meant to be a surprise, but
No, I'm just glad you're watching it. I think it's great. Yeah.
bloody Dan goes and fucking
Ruins it.
ruins it.
Fall Guys is a game that you are.
Where? I don't see any Fall Guys.
You've downloaded it. I'm going to download it tonight.
Yeah, well, so you messaged me and said download it, and then I was working at home today. So
No,
I was like,
part
I'll
of the
chuck it on
reason I
now.
told you I would download it was because I've been meaning to download it, but I've forgotten. Every time I thought about it,
I
I've
keep
forgotten.
forgetting, and then no, the reason why I did it the second you told me was because I knew I'd forget again. So I was like, I'll do it now and just so I won't forget.
But now that I've told you, and now that we're doing a segment on it, I know when we finish before we go to the pub, I'll download it. But yeah, what do you know about it? Because I don't know much about it.
I saw
It's a new game, isn't it? It's only recent.
Yeah, I saw Jezebel play it. He did a sponsored video. Jezebel from
Yeah.
the old channel Children of Poseidon, but
Oh no, that's a classic.
it looks no Children of Poseidon is classic. I think his new channel is Jezebel and Friends. He did like a sponsorship video. It looks pretty fun. I think you have to do a bunch of these like
Yeah, it's funny. It looks very cartoony, but in a cool way, like in a funky way.
yeah, no, it looks really fun. Like I think it's quite difficult and quite. It's one of those games where like you die like 90% of the time, but it's so addicting. You just keep going. I'll do this part. I'll do this part.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think there's
right.
a campaign. I think you just literally.
Isn't it just online? Isn't it kind of like a
think it is.
like a battle royale, but like Warzone sort of?
Yeah, and then like you qualify or you don't.
But obviously, you know, none of the aesthetic of Warzone.
It looks
It's a
really
lot
fun.
more bright and colorful, but it does look fun. It looks a lot of fun.
Well,
actually.
we're gonna soon play it soon.
No, I'd love to play it. I'd love to get back on with the fucking online, you know, gaming and all that shit.
I'm on to decide if I want to get a PS4. So 5, sorry. So
Yeah, I still maintain I think I will get a PS5 purely
Just 'cause of the
for the
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray. Yeah.
yeah, well, fair enough. Because a 4K Blu-ray player is not cheap.
That's what I think.
So
I
you
think
might as well get
a 4K Blu-ray player is cheap, and if I trade in my PS4, then
Oh, I don't think so.
well, no, because it's backwards compatible because you can play all your PS4 games.
Oh, okay.
So then it's like if I trade in my PS4, I get a 4K Blu-ray player. I can still play all my games. Probably worth it in my opinion. And then if I do want to play any PS5 games that come out, I can. All
It's
right,
free
Len.
though.
All right, Lenny.
It's like $30 normally, but it's free.
Yeah, so the Fall Guys is the free game for this month.
Well, I
When did it
noticed
come
there's
out?
like a ton of like
Excuse me,
there's
sorry.
a ton of like skins that are like
What is it? What are they called? Microtransactions.
microtransaction. Yeah, there's like a ton of skins to like buy and like.
Oh
shit,
boy.
so-
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, look, it's
There
fine.
you go. What's the I'll turn the sound off, but here's the launch trailer that
I
they
watched
released. I haven't either. We'll put the sound down so we
Maybe
don't
copyright?
get. Well, that's why I put the sound down. So what is this? Okay, I have no idea what this is, what the deal is. Maybe I'll put
The Fall Guys in the fun now.
Yeah, no, I'll put them in the small bit so we have less chance of getting demonetized or not demonetized, fucking copyright claimed. I'll put it here. Okay, so they're getting ready to run.
What the fuck?
So is it like a race? Because oh shit! So it's
this guy keeps getting. Oh, guys, I guess that's the point.
So Fall Guys. So if you fall off the track, then you don't get through, I guess.
Yeah, you don't qualify.
I see. So it's sort of like it looks kind of like mini games.
Yeah, it does. That looks fun.
It looks very fun.
It really does look fun.
I was at the pub the other day with the couples and the two guys there. They said that it's really fun. So
it does look fun. You just do a ton of fucking. It just looks like a fun.
Yeah, it just looks like goofy shit.
Yeah, goofy
fun stuff.
I can see us after a few beers having fun with it. Like,
yeah, it's super easy.
It does look goofy and fun. Like,
yeah.
It looks
a really easy pastime. Like
I could just see a lot of fucking screaming going on. Like,
oh no, I'm gonna.
Boink.
Oh yeah, boink. Well, that's great. I love games like this. I think this kind of shit is good. Oh, so if you're the last person to fall,
yeah, you're the winner.
Then you win. Okay. And then I guess there are ways you can make the other person fall.
Yeah.
Or like by distracting them. Okay,
I also know as well,
cool.
apparently if someone gets tripped over by something, you can use their body and jump over them. I mean, that's pretty fun.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Are you going to get Battle for Bikini Bottom?
Oh, so this is... Okay, if you want to talk about this. So I actually just got a new job, but I used to work as a social worker. I still do. I just went to a different company. But one of the people I worked with as a social worker, and I worked with them about a month ago because I've only been with my new job for a month. And when did it come out? It came out in June. So when the game came out, this guy got it. And basically what the shift was when I would work with this guy was I would go over to his house and we would play games for about an hour. And then he would go to the gym for half an hour. And then we'd come back and we'd play games for another hour, like PS4 games. And he was really cool. He would play, but he would really want me to have a go. And sometimes he'd like to watch me play. And when that game, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom came out, he got it on like the day it came out. And so every Monday and Wednesday, I worked with them twice a week. I got to play Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Was it good, sir?
And I basically got to play the entire game. So I got to play the entire game without paying at all, which was awesome. It was really fun. As a SpongeBob fan, I enjoyed it. But as a game, it's not that good.
Isn't it a remaster?
It is a remaster, yeah. So it's a remaster of a game that came out in 2004. What I mean by as a game, it's not that good. What I mean is the gameplay itself is pretty basic. It's pretty much like, kill this enemy, jump on this thing, go to this place. But what is really cool, it's a bit like, maybe not Springfield Hit and Run, but maybe a bit more like the South Park game, where it's like they map out. So they kind of map out Bikini Bottom.
That's pretty cool.
It's not in it's not in an anatomical way. Like it's not exact, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be able to go to the Chum Bucket, go to the Krusty Krab, go to Patrick's house, go to Squid's. It's pretty cool. Like that, all that stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like Trey and Matt were like, when they made the South Park game, they were like, we had to map out South Park. And they were like,
well, yeah.
We never
thought about it,
really.
Yeah.
They're just like, this is here and here and here. But it's like, if you went this way, what would be there? Like,
so they don't, yeah, exactly. So it's not mapped out exactly like.
I love
it. It probably
That's
doesn't.
One of my favorite games.
That is an amazing game, but it probably doesn't match to the to the show of SpongeBob as much, but it was very fun. And so what was really funny, maybe I'll show you this because we've still got time. But one of the funniest things about it is that it has a lot of the original voice actors, right? So Squidward is voiced by the actor who does Squidward. SpongeBob is voiced by the actor who does SpongeBob. Patrick is by Patrick. Sandy is by Sandy. Or I think Sandy's by Sandy. Sandy might be someone else. But the two that are really funny is Mr. Krabs, for some reason, is voiced by someone who is just doing a terrible Mr. Krabs impression. It sounds almost nothing like him.
That's fucking hilarious.
And Mermaid Man sounds fucking horrible. I'll play you Mr. Krabs first. But Mermaid Man is voiced by someone who, I'm sorry, sounds absolutely nothing like the original Mermaid Man.
Oh, God.
Battle for Bikini Bottom Mermaid Man. Because, oh my God, he fucking sounds nothing like him. Okay, so I'll get this up and see. Is this Rad Brat? No, it's not, unfortunately. All right. So let's see if I can find where he actually talks to Mr. Krabs. This is Squidward.
Squidward, this is amazing.
Amazingly awful.
So you can see it's got the actual
Mr.
voice
Krabs
actors and
is
stuff.
dreaming of the Krusty Krab.
What a surprise. I can't escape.
So like
work.
it's the actual original voice actors. But then hopefully Mr. Krabs is actually in this.
It'll probably be at the end.
Yeah, let's see. Because you have to be. I actually remember this level. This level is fucking so hard. I remember playing this, and that's the thing. The gameplay is pretty fun because it's quite hard, but sometimes it's hard in a way that just feels almost too hard. Oh fuck, he's not even in this video. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, because Mr. Krabs' Dream was one of the hardest levels.
Hey,
Battle
lad.
for Bikini Bottom Krabs voice. Here you go. Because it's so bad. Where is it?
Maybe play that one.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. This will hopefully be an actual one.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to...
Oh, shut up. I don't want to hear your fucking thing. So this is all the way from the beginning. Okay, so where does he get to Mr. Krabs? Because I'm serious. I heard this. And I'm like, all the other actors are really good. And they actually, look, what's a real shame is that even Bubble Buddy is voiced by...
Bubble Buddy, you're amazing. I love you.
You see, you're going to need to learn some new bubble-blowing moves if you're going to journey
Wait,
to
actually,
the ninth
is he?
dimension and defeat the giant monkey man.
Well, he doesn't actually sound like Bubble Buddy. But Mr. Krabs... Here we go.
Okay.
All right, it really just does not sound like him.
That's what the guy's going to say. The title's called.
This flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship. No money means no more Krusty Krab. No more Krusty Krab means no more fry cooking for you.
That's just, it sounds like nothing like fucking Mr. Krabs. And it's like, it's very much like a bad impression. And he's trying to do his best, Mr. Krabs, but it just doesn't quite sound like him. And then this dude, Mermaid Man, Jesus, he is just, is this him here? No.
Gary's in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Gary, they just use the sound effects, so. Meow. Not much trouble there. Oh, for fuck's sake, it got an ad. We don't have time for this, YouTube. We're trying to do a show here.
Ain't got time for these fucking adverts.
But no, honestly, Mermaid Man, it sounds so funny. Yeah, that's the Mermalaya computer. Here we go. Let's see if he talks here.
UWA.
But no, so it's but again,
It's well trying to tell you to go out to university.
it is a fun game in terms of like, it really does. You do feel like you're in the actual, like they do this, like they go to the Mermalaya and you get to see, or they mention like the dirty bubble and all that stuff. So there's so much Easter eggs. It's like really, really cool in that sense. But unfortunately, yeah, some of the voice acting is not good, but a lot of the voice acting is very, very good. And it's a lot of fun. But just as a game, it's a little bit tedious at points.
Mold, I'm a sponge. There's a cellular difference.
Yeah, thanks for the lesson.
Okay, we got a boss fight. Get ready, guys.
Oh, what is this guy doing?
I shall not rest
Here you go. Let's see if you can hear this.
by the seven seas. Prawn, I shall not rest until you are captured. But first, I shall have to change from my secret identity into Mermaid Man.
You are...
Dude,
Wait,
like,
what's going into it?
huh?
What?
A secret identity.
What is that?
Into Mermaid Man.
You are... Yeah.
A secret identity, you old coot.
Is this guy foreign or something?
Maybe you better take care of Prawn.
Even Barnacle Boy
Barnacle,
is the
yeah.
actual
Okay.
voice, but then Mermaid Man is just this really shitty. They obviously did like on like Craigslist, Mermaid Man impersonator.
If that's the best they could get.
You know what's such a shame is I understand they probably had to, the voice actor probably signed rights that they would be in the game for any re-releases, but I just don't see why they couldn't have. They knew they were doing a remaster. Why couldn't they just rehire the original actors and say, can you redo the voices? And one thing that's a bit of the shame is that, unfortunately, one thing that's so good about the South Park hit and run game, South Park Stick of Truth and the Simpsons hit and run game, is that they're really well written and they have a lot of jokes that are so similar to the actual show.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with the SpongeBob game, the actors, you can tell, are trying to deliver the lines really well, but the writing is just not funny. Like, it's just, they don't put in enough jokes. And it's like, SpongeBob is known for its jokes. Like, just do jokes. But the game becomes very much like fetch quests, you know? You need to go here, you need to do this, you need to do this. So that's my review of SpongeBob Bikini Bottom, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. It's fun. And I really enjoyed playing it. I'm glad I played it, but I personally wouldn't pay for it. That's just if you can play it without paying for it, go ahead. Or maybe if you can watch some of the cutscenes, because it's kind of fun. But again, I don't know. The cutscenes aren't that good. Like, it's fun to play it, but not very fun to watch it. It's hard to explain.
Okay.
Anyway.
Rehydrated is a cool name.
It is a cool name. To be fair. And I wish they did not a remaster. I wish they did like a remake. Like, I wish they did a new SpongeBob game that had all the original characters, all the original voices. And I wish it was like really story based, you know? Like, I wish the game actually could have a funny fucking story, a really good gameplay. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd put money down on that for a second. Like, if it was like a Simpsons hit and run or like a game just that had an actual story, you know? But anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
No. I'm sorry. I'm so out of it this episode.
No, it's okay. I'm a bit out of it too, to be honest. I don't know why.
I'm like, I'm pretty zoinked.
I think we're good to finish up the show there.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to bring something up before we finish though.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned a few episodes ago that my family received some news that my dad's best friend in the UK passed away from suicide, unfortunately. And today was his funeral. Actually, before I got picked up, it was I just got back from it. I mean, obviously the funeral was in the UK, so we couldn't go to that. Also with COVID, obviously, what is a funeral these days?
Shame, how many people were there?
Well, what they did in the UK, and
Did they like live stream it or something?
No, like they got people to pretty much just line up on the street as the hearse drove past. But what was really
that's nice.
What was really sweet is that we went to the Rocks at the exact time that started. So for us, it was 5:05 p.m.
Yeah.
So
that's nice.
we got told at 5:05 p.m. is when it's going to happen. So we got down to the Rocks, and Dad got some Australian flowers, and we all got one each. And he just went to the Rocks, and we all threw our flowers, and I threw mine in, and no, it was really sweet. And the whole day I was like, you know, music's like my thing. And like, I was like, I really want to listen to a song when I go down there for that at 5:05.
Yeah, that moment.
I didn't want to be disrespectful with my headphone. I had only one in, but I was like, I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I was like, you know, for me, this is how I want to grieve.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna put a headphone in. To be fair, I wasn't really with my parents. I went down to the front of the Rocks, still in Rocks, and I threw mine down there. And all day I was like, what am I going to play? Like I contemplated a few songs. I contemplated quite a few. And there was this Kid Quill one I was going to play. But I feel like Quill for me is very much my life. And like Indiana, for example, is like I feel like it's my song. And I wanted to associate another song with it. And for the longest time, I couldn't think of anything. And I was like, shit. And it was like an hour before we were going down. And I said to myself, I was like, you know what? I guarantee when I get there, the right song will come to me. And I was like, nah, bullshit. That's not going to happen. And then I was walking down and we arrived at the Rocks. It was like 5 o'clock and it was happening in 5 minutes. And randomly out of the blue, I was looking around and I was just thinking to myself, isn't it weird? Like, I've just walked down to the Rocks. It's about a 10-minute walk from my house. I passed my local. On the way, I saw the staff I knew. When I went into the pub quickly, I grabbed out, I saw the staff I knew. I saw locals that I knew. On the walk out, walking past me, I saw Holly from school.
Wow.
I saw people just fishing. I saw people in their houses, people driving past, people talking, people drinking with each other. And I was like, isn't it amazing that this is life? I mean, I was watching a YouTube the other day, Cass, who she did the face model for Dina in Last of Us. She has a YouTube channel. I really like her a lot. And she was saying in her video that she's like, when I see someone out and about, every encounter I have with someone, even walking past someone, I try to even just imagine how crazy it is that we just walk past each other. The events that we all went through that day, just be passing each other.
Yeah.
There's so many things that happen for that exact second for you to be passing each other. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And then I got to the rocks and I was down there. I looked around and there was a guy fishing and there was people going past in kayaks. And I was like, do you know what this really reminds me of? It really reminds me of they remade a music video, and you've seen it, I think. They remade a music video a couple of years ago when Elton John released it. He was doing his farewell tour. They remade a bunch of music videos. And they remade the Tiny Dancer music video. And it's basically, it's a bunch of like different people all around like LA, all just going throughout their day. And slowly as the music video goes on, it goes to like the afternoon and then goes to night. And it reminded me so much of that. It's like all these different people all doing their things. And I was like, that's the perfect song. That's the perfect song. And it's such an emotional song. It does so much for me. And I was like, it feels like such a celebration of life, that song.
It is, yeah.
And it's my favorite Elton John song as well. And again, it's so weird. I remember I thought to myself,
that's a beautiful song.
I was like, that song won't come to me. I'm going to be there being like, what do I play? But it just instantly felt right. So I played that, and I played it as I threw my flower, and it felt really right. And it was, I did get pretty emotional. It was sad. It was really sad. And it was really crazy as well to think on the other side of the world this was happening. It was pretty crazy though. About halfway through the song, someone was on their jet ski and it must have just stopped working because he stopped in like the middle of the ocean and he was trying to get it working again. And like, it kind of ruined the moment in a way. But I remember thinking like, man, he must be looking somewhere out there and thinking that's fucking hilarious that we go down there. And at that time when it's trying to be peaceful, a guy is on his jet ski really loudly and he goes, and it's like so loud. And I was really annoyed at first, but when I was leaving, I was like, do you know what? I'm sure he's looking down going, that's funny. Yeah. That's pretty funny. So yeah, it was really nice to pay.
It's the ridiculousness of life, isn't it?
Exactly. You know, and it was a really nice way to say goodbye. Been thinking about it a lot. I've spoken about it in therapy a lot today, and but now I feel like for the last few weeks it's just been kind of on my shoulders, and it's like now it feels like, you know, we've said our piece, and I'm really glad we've got to do something. So yeah, you know, yeah, honestly, stay safe out there. It's so hard at the moment, and we said it all before, but we'll say it again. You know, stay safe and get help if you need to. And you know, my thoughts and love are with his family and everyone at home. I really mean that, and yeah, and I just hope everyone stays safe. That's all we can say, really. I think, but you know, it's really terrible what happened to him.
Stay safe. Seek help if you need.
Yeah. You know, I don't want to see it happen again to anyone close to me or even hear about it. You know, it's such a horrible thing. So yeah, if you need get help, do it. We'll always have those memories together. So yeah, but yeah, it's nice. It felt really nice. It was more of a celebration of life than, which is what I wanted it to be. I think it felt more of a celebration than it was sad, but it felt more of it was such a beautiful moment to see just that ocean and then the sunset, and yeah, it was quite a spectacle. But yeah. Thank you for letting me say that. Yeah, just stay safe out there. These are crazy times. So
no, it is. Yeah, everyone stay safe and
thank you.
Yeah, you've always got someone thinking about you.
Yeah,
if it's just us saying that you matter.
Yeah,
that you hear that. You know,
you've always got this show as well. We'll always be here.
Yeah, that's right. You can always come back to us.
Yeah, hopefully we
feel like there's no one out there, then just we're out here. We're,
of course.
We're saying it. So.
That's why I like to do the show, and you give me that. So you help me more than I can express in the words. So,
Oh, I love you, man.
and this show as well helps me. So, yeah, we'll be back on Saturday to give you another episode. And yeah.
Yeah, on Saturday we'll be back. So a couple of, I don't know when this will post, but
Yeah, we're going to
Saturday
do
we'll be filming. So.
Saturday, we're going to do the Big Jack versus the Big Mac.
Yes.
And I did not just speak incorrectly, Dan.
No, that's right.
It's a thing.
There is a potential copyright infringement going on, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. So,
You know what? I actually don't even like the Big Mac, so we'll see.
we will see. We'll see. Maybe
Yeah.
Hungry Jack can win you over.
Maybe it can. The
Maybe it
imposter.
Maybe it
Might
can
just win
you back, Jack.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks,
We're
guys.
off road modes now. So,
We'll see you next episode.
cheers, guys. Much love. We'll see you later. Thank you, everyone. I need to go talk so bad. I'm gonna pee right now.